Hello, everybody. This is my haves and the have-nots review. I'm late with it once again, but whenever I get ready to do this, the past couple of weeks, something keeps coming up and I don't get an opportunity to do the review, and it's late. And on top of that, I started out doing this review a few minutes ago. I'm talking, and I noticed that I had not hit the record button. Big face palm moment there. But anyway, let's get into this review. So at Candace's house, we pick up where we left off with Jeffrey and that dirty, nasty cop. So the cop is still up in his face, and he's all, "I'm not gay." I'm like, "Yeah, sure you're not. Yes, you're not gay, sir, not at all. That you're making all these sexual comments towards this man." But anyway, Jeffrey's like, "I'm gay. It's very free." And he just basically says to the officer, "Do you want to kiss me?" And the officer's like, he's like not saying anything, but what breaks it up is Candace comes home, and the officer backs away like that. And he asks Candace, "Do you know Aquita Maxwell?" And Jeffrey gets her to, gets her up to speed, like subtly, like, "She says you told her to come over, but you didn't give her the key." And Candace is like, "Yeah." And the officer says, "That's all I want to know," and he leaves. Candace wonders why the officer's zipper was down. But Jeffrey doesn't dwell on that. He wants his keys, and here comes Erica, and she's looking at Jeffrey like, "Hello." And Candace shuts that down immediately. She's like, "No, doesn't play for our team." Jeffrey has a tracker device on his keys, so he wants to track it, and since he doesn't have a phone because Candace ruined it, he asks Candace for her phone so he can get on an app and track his keys. And so he's going around, there's somewhere around here, and he goes out into the backyard tracking it, and he tracks it to that plot out there. And I don't know why Jeffrey was not picking up on this quicker. He could clearly see that something was not right with that dirt patch. I mean, anybody could see. I mean, nobody's that clueless. It's like, come on now. How are you that clueless that that big dirt patch is something nefarious buried under that yard? Because you don't come into a yard and see a big old dirt patch like that and not know that it's probably a body buried under there. So finally, Candace, after a few attempts of yelling at him to get him to stop digging, she finally says, "Your keys are gone. They're buried with him." She called Benny up and asked him, "Did you see some keys?" And Benny assumed that they were Quincy's, and he said, "Yeah, I buried them with the package." So Candace tells Jeffrey, "Your keys are gone. Go to the locksmith." And then she gets into this thing further with the police officer. She's just saying, "I'm going to get it out of," she had told Jeffrey, "I'm going to get it out of you," while his zipper was down. And Jeffrey gets into it. He says he's just been making all sorts of, he's just been touching me inappropriately, saying things to me that are inappropriate. Just basically, he's coming on to me. And Candace, the gears in her mind start turning. She's not going to let Jeffrey out of this because, he stabbed Quincy. They were there together, and she is not going to let him out of this mess. Not by a long shot. So Jeffrey, he's getting ready to get pimped out because basically Candace says, you work this officer. Welcome to the club. I've had to do things with disgusting men before to get stuff done. Jeffrey doesn't want to do it, but I don't know what's going to happen here. He may end up doing something at Candace's order. She was serious about this. She was dead serious. I said, "You're just gonna pimp Jeffrey out to some corrupt police officer." Let's see where else we're gonna go. I'm looking at the video here to make sure I don't miss anything in the episode. Oh yeah, and then we get this short scene with Hannah. She's just going through the Crier house, digging in couches, under cushions, couch cushions, in drawers, everywhere, looking for money, and she's finding dollar bills, 20s. I think I saw 100. She's even taking the spare change. She's just picking all through the house, looking for money, trying to gather up her salary. And I just said, this is just the most ignorant scene that I've seen. Okay, so after we see Hannah get done digging through drawers and stuff looking for cash, and we see Wyatt just out of his mind sniffing coke. His drug dealer friend tells him to slow down. He gets mad and throws the dude out the door, like, get out, get out. He's only trying to tell him to slow down on this coke, and he gets mad and throws him out. Wyatt, it's safe to say that Wyatt has a serious problem, and we know the finale is going to be deadly, so I think Wyatt is on the list of potential death victims. So back at the police station, Quita's getting out of the jail, and Veronica's waiting, and she wants the details on what Quita was trying to tell her when she was passing her in the line in the jail. So Quita tells her, don't go home because there's a hit on you. Just don't go home. Somebody's there. They got orders to shoot the first person who walks in the door. And so then Quita asks for a ride, and Veronica's like, that ain't gonna happen. And Veronica is just, she's just mean. But granted, I probably would not have given someone like Quita a ride either. Just, she'll find her way home. People like that always find a way. The hustlers and stuff like that always find a way. And so David, he's at the jailhouse trying to get an address for Veronica, and he can't get one because the sergeant, whatever she is at the front, she's like saying, no, I can't do that. And then he wants to meet with Jim, but he's not on the list to meet with Jim. So David's running around frantic trying to save Veronica. Then we get to Catherine, and we find out that we see her meeting with her banker, and she's upset about all this stuff, and that her son got his inheritance, and that, that Jim paid all this blackmail money to Candace. And then here comes Hannah with this big old wad of cash. I found $900, and you still owe me $600 more, and all this stuff. And Catherine gets out that Candace blackmailed $7.4 million from Jim. And Hannah's face is like, so that's where she got that money. And I thought that Hannah was being cruel to Catherine. Granted, Catherine didn't tell her the truth about Wyatt and the car accident. Hannah knew. She knew what Wyatt did. She just kind of sat on it. And I think she was being cruel to Catherine because Catherine doesn't have anybody saved for Hannah. And hey, she's talking about leaving, and Hannah knows she's going to be right back up there because she's not going to have no really good job prospects. Except for Catherine, who has gone above and beyond what employers should do for somebody, because she is genuinely Hannah's friend, and Catherine's just like all kinds of upset, and she's trying to give Hannah her rings and stuff, and Hannah's all, well, I don't know one nothing but what I'm owed. And she walks out of there. Hannah walks out of there, and Catherine's just distraught because apparently her own mother didn't really care that much about her. Her children didn't care that much about her. Jim don't care nothing about her. And so after that, we get a scene with Benny at the tow yard, and Mitch hands him the newspaper, and he's like, so that's what that was about, with that guy getting our phones turned off. And Mitch is like, just tell him what he wants to know so we can get our phones back on. Benny's like, nah, let his wife tell him that. And so here comes Candace. She's trying to get that, she's trying to get the money together to pay off Warlock. And Warlock is in the back and he comes out and he kind of like, he asks her for a hug and then he whispers her a warning, don't do it, don't try it. So Warlock goes on, and Candace inquires about mortgaging both houses and the tow yard. Benny's like, no, 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 no. He wants her to get out, and then she's like, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm not in any trouble. I just wanted a business opportunity, but I'll have to pass. And Erica had insisted that she go over there and try to get Benny to agree to the mortgages so that she can get the money to pay off War, because War is not playing around. He's going to tear up on Candace if she doesn't get this money. And so Jim and Catherine, then they have a little scene, and basically it's just like Wyatt's going to kill himself with all this money and all that. And beginning of the scene, Jim is like telling Catherine, you look nice. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Granted, Catherine did look nice in a red suit. I'm like, Jim, where is this? You're being nice to Catherine. I'm like, why? I guess jail has really gotten to him to where he's not behaving like himself, and he's actually trying to be a little bit nice. And so David busts up into the DA's office. You need to tell me, give me an address for my wife. And she's all mad. The DA, she's all, you can hook up with Maggie Day, but you can't hook up with me. And she's all mad. And David's like grabbing her and all this, like he's gonna shake her or something. And then the DA's face was so hilarious. She's so mad. She looked like a kid, like pouting with their parents over them not being able to have some cookies. Like, no, you can't have cookies for breakfast. And the kid's all like, So her expression and everything was just really not mature at all. So he doesn't get nothing out of her. And after that, Candace and Benny meet with this attorney, because Candace wants Benny to sue, because that's her only other avenue to get the money. And really, she's not going to be able to get that money fast enough to pay off Warlock, but I guess she's got to try whatever she can get. And the lawyer's looking at Candace like, she can be very persuasive. I'm like, did you sleep with Candace or something? I'm guessing that he did, and at one time, because he tells her, well, after you finish law school, come see me. You have potential. So that was that, and they've got to get, that's right, they got to get the little girl's grandfather that got hit. They got to get him involved. And so here, and we go to Hannah at the hospital. I'm going to try to wrap this up quick so I don't ramble on. Here comes Hannah at the hospital. She wants to see her grandson. Doctor tells her here that he's doing good. She wants to see him, and he's like, you got to talk to child services. And here comes the social worker. She had not changed her dress from after getting beat up by Candace and Erica. And I said, seems like she could have gone home, put on some fresh clothes after a beating. Clearly, she couldn't have really hidden the bruises and stuff, because that would be pretty hard to hide, because that beating was severe. And so here comes Hannah trying to figure out what's going on, because now the social worker is saying, we sided with his mother. She got to you, didn't she? How you get that bruise on? And she's getting ready to touch her face, like Hannah's touching the social worker's face like she knows her. Oh, it's her mother. And I'm saying, Hannah, back up. You're in her personal space now. And so Hannah, she was going to lose that kid anyway, because she lied. She really, really lied about what was going on. And then after that, we see Candace calling up the grandfather saying, can you meet us at my house so we can discuss the details of the lawsuit? And I'm going to try to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up with Veronica. She's outside her house. She's looking at the cameras inside her house on her tablet, and she can see that someone is in her home waiting, hiding, ready to shoot her. And so she sets up Maggie Day to come to her house so Maggie Day can get shot. I don't know why Maggie agreed to come over there, but she did. So that was the episode. Deuces. See you next time. Rate and comment. Good day.